Did you say pocketable EDC ready for the summer vacation because you don't want to take your gear because it's too big and too expensive and too bulky and too heavy? You're in the right place. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thomas Love here from Lake Como, Italy. And today we're gonna see together what kind of pocketable EDC is it perfect for summertime, because I know you are planning on traveling oh so much this summer, and so if you don't want to take your gear because you don't want basically to babysit because maybe it's too expensive, it's too bulky, it's too heavy, and you don't want to take out too much space from your luggage, well, a compact camera is the solution. Now, I know some of you are very fond of your iPhones and you will say, I can do 4K recording, I have face tracking, I can take pictures with my iPhone. Yes, I respect that, but it's not my 2 cents. Here we're talking about photography, and so I'm using a camera instead, because first, I'm not an iPhone user. It's like a love and hate, and so every 2-3 years, I get one because maybe it's super discounted, and then I get rid of it because I don't want to go around with an iPhone, it's too expensive, and then obviously the sensor is not as big as I want it to, and so till that very moment it is not usable to me. And so I'm using a Motorola instead, mainly because I pay $5 a month for it, and then I have plenty of budget that I saved from the phone for a proper camera, meaning a compact camera that I can use for recording 4K videos and to shoot the street photography I'm so keen on doing every time that I travel. And so from time to time I can eventually do some landscapes, and compact cameras also, it's a love and hate relationship. Last one that I got was the Sony RX100 Mark IV, because it was the latest iteration of that camera with a fast enough glass and without the zoom, because I don't need that much reach when I'm traveling. I'd rather have a wide angle. And so I remember I did travel with that camera to New Zealand for 3 months backpacking, and this is why I wanted a compact and lightweight camera. And I remember being pleased with the end results, but not pleased so much with the camera, because I remember complaining that 1-inch sensor was not enough and that they had some kind of limitations. It was like a soap bar shape, and so in the very end I liked it, but not so much, despite I took nice photography with that camera. So now that I had to choose another compact camera, I didn't want to take again the Sony RX100 Mark VII, which is possibly the best compact camera money can buy, and so was rather looking into other directions, such as the Lumix RX100 Mark II and the Canon G5X Mark II, mainly because they both still have an EDF, which I think is a good value added for me, and then, you know, some IBIS or other things that they might have that make it more appealing to me. And so in the very end, I was considering the availability of that cameras, because those cameras are not available anymore. It's like they disappeared from the market, and so you cannot find them anymore new. You really have to spot and be lucky enough to get like the end of a stock at some store. And so I was having a look at the used gear market. Now, here in Europe where I am now, there's no B&H, and so I was having a look at RCE Photo and RPM, I think it's called RPM, something like that. Anyway, I will put the link down here. And so with that budget, I was placing a few $100 budget, and also I had to get used to the fact that here in Europe the VAT is included in the price, and then VAT included, then the Panasonic RX100 Mark II and the Canon, they're more or less 800-900 euros. And so for that money I was able to buy like a Sony Alpha A6200 with the glass used, and I was not so keen on it, because then when you start having a look at the Sony Alpha, the APS-C cameras, you can find then any iteration is better and better and better. So you started with the 6000, then you want the 6100, and then you want the 6400, and then you see that now the 6700 is the top money can buy, and it's also way too expensive. So going back to compact size, I was targeting a Sony Alpha 5100 plus 16mm prime lens from Sony f2.8, and then in the end I was not ready to pounce on it because it was not satisfying enough for me. First, mainly because it was used gear, and the Sony Alpha 5100, it's like also old. We're talking about a 10 years old camera, so you don't really know what you are getting, despite it might be in mint conditions, but you don't know what you're really getting. And then also the glass was not so exciting, and so in the very end I went back to considering Leica glasses, because Panasonic and Leica, some cameras, they share the same glasses. And so basically the Lumix LX100 Mark II was the Leica Deluxe Type 109 or 104, I don't remember, don't quote me on that. But I know that now they are about to announce the Leica Deluxe Mark 8, and so that's gonna be way too expensive for me. And so in the very end I ordered, and it's gonna arrive tomorrow, so stay tuned, because tomorrow we're gonna start using it together. We're gonna have the unboxing and then a few considerations about the body and the glass of that camera. I ended up with the Lumix LX15, which is how they call in Europe the LX10. So you don't know what you're talking about. It's a compact camera, it's a 1-inch sensor, it has an optical stable, good for photography, not that much for video, and then it has this 24-72 equivalent f1.4 glass that, paired with a 1-inch sensor, might give you the same separation, the same bokeh effect that you are having on a full-frame camera at f4. So stay tuned, because we're gonna test the heck out of it for this long Italian summer. So with that, I hope you got some value out of this video. If you did, please remember to like it, share it on social media, subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any videos to come, and I guess I will see you later. Thank you. Bye bye.